Hey folks, Peter here. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for joining me once again for another 3D printing video. Now, if you've watched this series, you've seen some of the upgrades that we've done to this machine, kind of redoing some of the motors, new build plate. Really, I think that's about it. I had some other stuff I was going to do, never got around to it. But today, I actually did get some new stuff in. More build plates. I'm going to go over each of these and run a print with each of them. I'm having issues with this. This is that PEI stuff where when it heats up, it's supposed to be really sticky, and then when it cools off, you can literally just pull the print off. Unfortunately, this isn't in an enclosure, so AC kicks on or something, a draft comes through the room, and I feel like that temperature is just causing corners to lift. It's driven me crazy every time I use it. So we got a few different plates here. This one here is the Cryo Grip Pro Glacier. It's just blue. Both sides are the same, a little bit of texture. Kind of bendy there. This one you are supposed to be able to operate at a lower bed temperature, so I'm excited to see how that works out. And then this guy here, this is another PEI, it's still in the plastic. It's another PEI sheet, but I don't know if you can really see if my fingers will work. Please bear with me, I feel so out of practice. You guys missed me? Are you guys enjoying the revival here? Let me know, leave it in the comment below. There we go. Maybe you can see that. This actually has fairly gritty texture, and I'm hoping that that extra texture on that will help it grab a little bit better. I don't have one of those feeler gauges with me. I forgot to grab one before I got in here and started recording. We are going to have to re-level this bed, and I'm just going to use I'm just going to use a sheet of paper here. We're going to go old school, really put this thing to the test. I would like to get an auto bed leveler for this, but we'll get into that later. Oh, you want to see the other side of this? This one? Check it out. This one is dual-sided, and this has some sort of... It does have a little bit of texture. It's got a film cover on it right now I'll take off. But it has that pattern in it, and apparently these patterns, I've seen this a few times, those patterns actually transfer over to your prints. So I want to see how that works. Again, I'm tired of prints lifting in the corners. It just looks tacky, and while it might work, I just don't think it looks good, and I would rather just have it be done properly and, you know, fully as intended. Look at that! I'm getting distracted. Look at that. This has notches. This is for an Ender 3. This is an Ender 3, but this doesn't have the notches on the bed, so I mean, it's not hard to line up a square, so I'm not too worried about that. There are some little bits on the front here too, which I guess can help lift it off, but I don't think that's going to be an issue. So we can take this one. Bed's cold, by the way. So again, this is what I have been using. It was a Creality, can't really read that, but it is a Creality PEI sheet, smooth. And while I do like that it's smooth on the bottom, I am kind of excited to try out some textures, and hopefully that will help the prints just kind of grip on a little bit better. If you guys see me change shirts throughout this video, just know that this is going to take me like 2-3 days. The first print that I'm doing, and I will show you and compare it to what I made before. This first piece, I think I got it down to about 9 hours. I'm doing a little bit taller height, a 0.6 millimeter layer height. I also got to change out this filament. How do we do this here again? Just kidding, I know what I'm doing. But I do want to compare it to the other one just so you can see where the warp is at. And I have to change out colors. I just got some new filament in and I want to use it. I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but this is the only filament that I really use. You might even be able to see it already. There's stuff all over, don't mind the noise, I'm just hitting everything on this table. Quite genuinely, the only filament that I use is from this company, 3D Fuel. It's made in town here, not sponsored yet. I might reach out to them again. Sorry for the noise, I'm just knocking everything over. This is the Pro PLA, so this is like their tougher PLA. I've used it since day one, and it's worked. And they also do offer that's what this was, a refuel, which is recycled filament, and then you just get whatever random color, which if you don't care about the color of your print, or if you're going to paint it or whatever, that stuff works great. It's a little bit cheaper. It's pretty much the same quality. I think they, like the tolerance is just slightly off, but for what I'm doing, it's totally fine. So got a brand new fresh roll of Snow White. It was on sale and I needed a white filament. Hey, it's going through, look at that. I don't think you guys can actually see it. It's just off camera. Not used to using the 3D printer from this side. I will also say exercise caution. When your hot end is heated up, please be careful. So what I need to do now, I've got the new print bed on here. Let me readjust the camera. So I do have that new surface on here. Again, I haven't heated it up yet. I'm going to go ahead and heat it up here to, I think, I honestly didn't change my print settings, so whatever I had before, which was a PEI sheet, I think it was at 60. That is the lowest temperature they suggest for the PLA. Preheat PLA, please. Okay, so it's going to 69. I have it set to 69. Nice, that's in the range. What did I say, 60 to 80 or something like that? 65 to 80. 60 to 65. Cool. I'm going to go ahead and try to remember. I haven't leveled the bed in so long. I'm going to try to remember how to level the bed here while also reaching across. Just going to run an auto home here. I guess you guys don't really need to see the screen. It's just standard stuff here. And this printer is going to stay right here. Promise I know what I'm doing. The steppers are disabled. It is getting a little warm here, so I don't want to be touching it too much. Again, do you guys need to see this? I don't think you do. Alright, just about done here. Just kind of going back over everything again. Now the real proper way, and you can see I've actually got close. You can see some scrape marks. I think that's just little bits of filament oozing out. Alright, that should be pretty good there. I'm going to get this printing. I just want to see this first layer. Let's see, can I do this from over here? Again, this makes this so much harder. Hot end has to get just a little bit hotter. The preheat was set a little bit lower. I heard it hit something, so hopefully this goes. If not, I will get it figured out. Hi, I'm still here. After this initial one, we're going to just speed it up and go through everything. We're going to do this one, then the Glacier Cryo Grip, and then the flip side of this one. I'm going to have to change filaments for the other side because I don't think the white's going to make it show up too well. Alright, start feeding filament. It's not fully smushed, but I don't want to adjust it too much. I figured it might be an issue with the bed surface here being not smooth, that I might not get quite an accurate reading on there with just a piece of paper anyway. Again, being careful with my hands here. This is hot. Like I'm not going to get scalded touching this, but it is warm, so I don't want to have extended contact there. It's actually looking pretty good. Just get this back corner just a little bit lower. So again, I'm going to let this run overnight. Like I said, it's like a 9-10 hour print. By the time I wake up in the morning, this should be pretty good. Okay, it is smushing really good up in the front here. I actually have this set to brim. When the last time I used this, I was using brims, which is where it puts this is going to be the size right here that you can see. Usually I just do like a skirt, like a 3-loop skirt, and then I have the item stand by itself. But with this printer, I was using the brim, which kind of helps give it more of a surface area to hold things down. That's one way to help cure peeling corners or corners that are lifting. So this is going to make a few brims, which is actually fine because it gives me a chance to kind of go in and just adjust these knobs underneath to just really dial in that height. I think this is going on long enough, so I'm going to let this go. I'll check in on it before I head to bed. And in the morning, we'll see how it's done. How it looks while it's done, I should say, excuse me. And then tomorrow night I will film the next part. Alright, so I just got up and the print is done here, so I'm going to take it, the whole plate off here. And I can already tell that... Did you see how easy that just came off? And as you can tell, the bottom... Oh, maybe not. I don't know if that'll focus or not. The bottom is textured. And so are the sides. I don't know if I had a setting for like rough walls. or if there's an issue with wider layer heights and just how it extrudes the filament. Here's that brim. That came off easy enough. So this is all textured, which, I mean, I guess I don't mind. I do want to try to smooth this part out as much as I can though. But success! Nothing warped. None of the corners warped. So, initial test, I'm going to say that this textured PEI side, yeah, that's a success. That worked. In the next section of the video, I know this video is already long as heck, I'm sure. I literally don't even know how long it is so far. Test 2. We're going to take that cryo grip. I guess I don't know if you guys need to see it. Again, this is it's called the Cryo Grip Pro Glacier. And looking on the sheet here, well, first off, done. That's how easy it is to install. Nice bright blue, which I think is kind of a fun contrast. But this came with the sheet. That's what that sheet that I was using for leveling it. There's Glacier and Frostbite. Frostbite, I think, is the you can run it even colder, but I don't think they had it in the size I needed. This one can be used for PLA, but the Frostbite's better. PLA 45 to 55, so we can lower our bed temperature 20 degrees. So I'm excited to see how this one works. I have to re-slice, put the file on the card again. I forgot to change the temperature. So I'm going to take care of that and we'll get it set up. I might have picked the wrong layer height. I don't know if that's what's causing this. I went and checked my settings in Cura and I was thinking maybe I had fuzzy skin on or something. No. So this was just, it might be because the layer height was too high. I think there's some rule where the layer height can't be bigger than the nozzle. So that's my bad, I goofed on that. I can print this again now. So right now, I'm going to get this heated up. So this is the Cryo Grip Pro Glacier, and I'm excited to see how this one works. It does have a bit more texture still than the PEI that I was using. So it does have that grip. I really liked how that texture worked. I'm assuming that that's what helped it stay nice and flat on the bottom there. As you can see, don't pay attention to the outside walls, but the bottom is flat. There's no warped corners, nothing really peeled up, you know, like 10, 20 layers up. And the texture actually does a really good job. I was worried that this bottom layer, the first layer, wasn't going to come out nicely, but it looks pretty solid to me. And the texture is there, but it's not crazy. So that was with this PEI sheet. Now we're going to print this little box in this one, and I have adjusted the layer height and I've lowered the temperature down for the build plate to 45 degrees. It was at 65 when we were printing on this because this needs the heat to help it adhere. 45 is a lot lower if you worry about power consumption, stuff like that. Check this out. It should be heated up. I do have to level everything again. I'm not going to do that on camera because I think that's pretty boring. And we'll get this printed out. It's just a short 3-hour print, 4-hour print. And hopefully I can get this one done, and then I can change rolls back to the other filament and we can try out this side. I'm excited for that. I don't think it'll look as good in the white filament, otherwise I would just use that. So I want something darker so you can actually see, hopefully, all of this. The other downside is that this is smooth. It does have very finite textures, but it is fairly smooth. So I guess we'll see how that one works out. This one I'm most skeptical about, but if it turns out, it's going to look pretty slick. And what's printed face down is actually going to be right side up, so you will see this pattern every time you're using this thing. Let me get this bed leveled, start the print, check it out, and come back later. Alright, so we got this set up here. It is starting. I was worried that I don't have it leveled well enough. Get an auto leveler. It is seriously just a game changer. Would highly recommend. Otherwise, you're going to be sitting here every time you print, especially if you're changing out build plates for different things that you're doing. You're going to be sitting here adjusting and blah, 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 blah. So we're off and away printing here. Again, we have the bed temperature. Well, it's dropping right now. It's currently at 56. It should cool down to 45. When I did the preheat PLA, it heated this up to 65 or 69, which is too hot. So it's going to cool down to 45. And really that's about it. It's just it is a smaller box. It's meant to fit inside of this opening here. Again, everything's looking good on it, so I'm just going to let this run and we'll check in on it later. Alright, so here we are. This print got done on the Cryo Grip. It looks slightly better, but it's still kind of fuzzy. Again, that came off pretty easily. Now, is the brim going to come off? That's the real question. It's on there pretty good, and I'm not one, I don't like to... Oh, there we go. Hold up. There we go. Finally got it. A little bit of work, but it came off. So I'm going to change filaments back to this recycled stuff. It's kind of a dark reddish brown, and I think that's going to look really good with the graphic, the texture, whatever you want to call it. Now this is one thing about the textured one, the super duper textured side. I guess I worried about all these little bits. I don't know if you can see like all these little lines right here. Like how hard is it going to be to get those out, or am I going to, if I print there, am I always going to have, you know, a little line or a couple lines or a little blob in my prints? Or maybe you print over it, maybe it takes it off with it. I don't know. But we're going to get this switch back around to this side again. Now, this is going to be the least textured. This is the smoothest, but obviously it does have the texture in it from what I can see. So this is going to be interesting. Now, again, before we really start jumping on me for the print quality, do you see how fuzzy that is? And then this one too, it's a little bit better. I lowered the layer height. But before we start jumping on me, this was just to get a print done, and really all I needed to print was the first couple of layers. I'm mostly just checking adhesion and make sure nothing's warped. I think I mentioned that already. I've been shooting this video for 3-4 days now. So who knows what is when. There's no rhyme or reason to any of it. Alright, so we got this mostly leveled out. Again, just doing it manually. That's not really what's important here. I'm just worried about the adhesion. So far, this was fine. And the other side of this, that super textured side, it worked just fine. Again, better than the super smooth one that's supposed to heat up and get real sticky and grippy. Personally, it worked until it didn't, and then it definitely did not work. So these new build plates should work out nicely. I'm just getting everything heated up here again. Or just waiting for it to heat up. Okay, cool. So I'm going to go and let this print with that pattern graphic build plate, and we'll see how it works. I don't think it's going to hold up as well, but if it looks cool, that's a bonus too. Alright, so we're back here again. This got done printing overnight. This is all cooled off now. I was not expecting it to be that easy. Alright, that's kind of sick. That's kind of sick. Wow. That actually turned out dang near flawless. And it's so shiny and it looks so cool. You guys can see those details, right? Look at all that. Alright, I'm sold. That's super sick. I don't even have all the prints in here anymore. I was actually showing them to somebody the other day. So the print quality doesn't matter to me. I've got some settings to dial in again on this thing. Honestly, this will work just fine for what I need. So, cool. PEI, you got to heat it up hotter. But with that texture, I don't know how this grips so perfectly, but it's flat. This was flat. This one, I really like this side with that texture. And again, flat. Also, it kind of helps cover up some of your first layer lines, if that's a thing for you. Crowd grip, you can use the lower temperature, which I think I need to use on my other printer. I actually do have it set only to like 40 something. So this is probably going to go on that printer. Matches my shirt. Well, it matches my shirt on the camera enough. It definitely is a different color. So I think this one's going to go on my printer downstairs. For me, this is the winner. That was kind of my goal, was to pick something out from my other printer because, folks, this printer is going away. Where's that off button? This printer that I've gone through and done some upgrades on, it is going to new home. It's not going far though. It's just going to my buddy's place. He will probably get more use out of it than me. Clearly I haven't been printing on it. Like none of my prints came out perfect. So I'm going to dial in some settings here and go bring this to him. And it was today. That's why this video is kind of all over the place. As soon as I got these build plates in, I needed to start filming. This printer is going away. Is this series going away? Let's not get that far. I'm gonna pick out one of these to send with this printer too. Like I said, the PEI that I was using was not working anymore. The first few times that I used it, it was pretty great. But again, this one you had to have a lot of attention to the room temperature and if like the AC kicks on. Of course an enclosure might help, but also this one I felt like you needed to have it just perfectly hot. It was great when it cooled down, but this one just did it too, where I just instantly pulled it off that other side. Let's get this cool design. So I might send them with this plate, order myself another one because this one's really sick. And then get this on my printer downstairs. What's the purpose of this video? It was really just to test and that's so sick. I think that's really cool. Let me know what you think. Is that cool? They make holographic ones too, like with like actual rainbow. And seeing this, I'm kind of sold. So I might have to pick some up. The purpose of this video, if your prints aren't sticking, maybe consider getting a different build plate. Like I said, this PEI was supposed to be super great. Heat it up and it gets sticky, it adheres. Not sticky, but like it sticks and it's supposed to adhere. And when it cools off, it's supposed to pop off. I had multiple failed prints where I just came back into this room and there was just spaghetti everywhere. Texture seemed to help a lot. It's not the coldest time, but you know, get the AC right over there. I don't even have like a heater in here to help warm it up more. I feel like this texture though definitely helped. So solid. Plus you get the other side with the fun little graphic there, which again I'm actually really a big fan of that. I think that's super cool. If you like the lower temperature, if energy consumption is a concern, this did seem to work pretty well. I did have a little bit of trouble getting that brim off of here, but I mean overall the print came off pretty easily. So just initial reviews. I'm not going to throw a bunch of technical stuff at you, but this does print at a cooler temperature, about 20 degrees cooler. So if you worry about power consumption, maybe go with one of these. It does have a little bit of a texture. Those are the new build plates. Say goodbye to the printer. Go ahead and leave a comment saying goodbye to this printer. I do have to go through and sort out some issues though. One, I want to get a nicer profile built because clearly that top layer isn't going to work. I don't know if that's heat or if I just need to add an extra layer. If you guys recall, the other ones were pretty fuzzy. This is at a 0.2 layer height, 0.2 millimeter. That's not what this video is about, but I'm going to get that print profile figured out and we're going to get this printer to my buddy today. I actually am filming this before bringing it over, so I have to go take care of that print profile. What's next? Stay tuned. I was hoping I would have a thing here so I could do one of these, but I don't. So stay tuned. More 3D printing videos coming soon. Maybe I show off my other Ender 3 that this is going to go on. I'm rambling. This video is probably way too long as it is. Build plates, Ender 3, goodbye. Like and subscribe. Check out the other videos on the channel. Until next time, have a good one.